Thank you, Matt. The Illinois primary is wrapping up last night with several races up for grabs for the U.S. House of Representatives. In Illinois' 12th district, a former Republican nominee for governor challenged incumbent Mike Bost.
That's right, Alexandria, and Bost was able to hold off challenger Darren Bailey, who ran for governor in 2022 but lost to J.B. Pritzker. This downstate race attracting national attention, with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and former President Donald Trump both endorsing Bost. With 94% reporting here this morning, Bost winning the seat over Bailey with 52% of the vote.
And on the Democratic side of that district, Representative Brian Roberts defeated Preston Nelson for the nomination. Roberts winning 60% of that vote, and he will now go up against Bost in November during the general election.
Looking at the 13th district's Republican primary, that race between Joshua Lloyd and Thomas Clatterbuck. Lloyd with 56% of the votes, over 15,000 in total, defeating Clatterbuck in District 13. He will now face incumbent Democrat Nikki Budzinski in the general election this November.
And in the 17th district, Republican Joe McGraw winning 67% of the vote to gain the GOP nomination. He will now go up against first-term incumbent Eric Sorensen during the general election.
And in a race we've been following all week, Regan Deering officially securing a win over Chuck Erickson in the 88th district.
The current holder of that seat, Dan Calkins, is not seeking re-election after 3 terms. And our Marlena Lang has been covering this race and brings us more information about the results.
The Associated Press called the race hours after the polls closed for the 88th District of Illinois, with Regan Deering as the winner, beating out fellow Republican Chuck Erickson. Since there is no Democratic challenger, Deering will most likely take over for current Representative Dan Calkins. I spoke with Deering, and she shared this statement with me, in part quote, saying, "I'm really grateful for the win in the primary here tonight. I'm really humbled by the trust placed in me by the thousands of voters that I have met and talked with throughout the 88th district. I give them my commitment to work hard for conservative values and being a change agent in Springfield." For Deering's full statement, you can visit our website. Reporting, I'm Marlena Lang. Back to you.
Thank you, Marlena. Current State Representative Dan Calkins gave his endorsement to Deering to take over his seat.
Another race we've been following this week is the Macon County coroner race. Mike Day, the current coroner, has been in his position for 30 years. He decided not to run for re-election. Candidate Michael Burkham was declared the Republican candidate late last night. This comes after defeating 2 other candidates with 44% of the vote. Burkham worked as a medic for 42 years in Macon County. His father, even a deputy coroner. We spoke to Burkham last night at his watch party to talk about why this position is so important to him.
The coroner, he really represents the people. He's the voice of the people. He's the voice of the dead. The people need a good, honest representation in the coroner's office, as we have had.
He's looking to pick up the campaign by late summer, and the only Democratic candidate up for the position is Tiffany Hall, a registered nurse. Both will face off in the November general election.
And now let's take a look at ballot questions. We have results from one regarding the Sherman Fire Protection District. It asked if the district in Sangamon County could levy a new tax of 0.4% for ambulance services. It's part of an effort we covered yesterday that looks to address the ambulance shortage in that area. The measure did not pass, with 61% of voters saying no to the proposal and only 39% saying yes.
Yeah, more ballot questions later on in our newscast. But on the national level, voters looking to nominate who will appear on the ballot for the 2024 presidential race. President Biden has been declared the winner. He's already become the party's presumptive nominee. The president earning a landslide victory in Illinois, 91% of the vote in our state.
And on the Republican side, former President Donald Trump claiming victory in our state's primary. Trump also won by a large margin, and he's the only remaining GOP candidate in the race. And like Biden, he's a presumptive Republican nominee. Despite former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley dropping out of the race shortly after Fat Tuesday, she still managed to get 14% of the vote. 4 other states, along with Illinois, holding primaries last night with similar results in the presidential nominations.
That's right, Alexandria. President Biden and former President Trump won their party's primaries in Ohio, Arizona, and Kansas. The only exception is in Florida, where there was no Democratic primary, and the party there opted to allocate the delegates to Biden. Results were, as many predicted, it sets up a rematch of the 2020 presidential election.
Don't miss a video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today for more Central Illinois news.